What is up? What is up with the chat? Lean back, get one sparked, cause this is gonna be a long one. Just starting off. Shit. 1 second. Good stretch. I got one blunt rolled, but I'm getting ready to play zombie, so I'm gonna get another one rolled for when we get to like them 10 to 15ers, them rounds. Uh, while I do that, pretty much a little bit about the title um, of the stream, which is probably why you most likely clicked, or the video if you're watching this after the stream. What it's like being a black conservative. It is a strange. I'll start with this. Okay, so I've been a black conservative for maybe, let's see, 6 years. 6 years now. I'm 27 years old. So for 6 years, I've been a black conservative. My reasoning. If you look at it, if you look at the time frame, 6 years ago, blah blah blah, Trump is in office. I know that's very cliche. A lot of black conservatives popped out the woodworks um, during Trump's run and throughout his presidency. So, the reason I became a black conservative was because around that time I was doing a lot of research. Around that time, there was a big battle during the whole COVID thing. Um, there was a big battle around misinformation, shit like that. You know, that's when the whole CNN ratings started to drop and so on and so forth. So, I, that's, when all that news started coming out about, oh, they're biased and so on and so forth. They're putting out false narratives about Trump. I was like, damn, like, we already had a inkling that media platforms, and I'm a beginner. I'm still new at streaming and talking on YouTube, guys. So you're gonna have to forgive me. Please make mistakes if I say anything that might be slightly false in some aspects. It's not my intention to sway, just from all my understandings and what I remember. Um, Feel free to correct me on anything. But what I'm saying is, with all that, I started to learn about the machine, the media machine, right? Who runs what side does this, who does this. The fact that we used to watch all these videos in high school about, oh, the hidden Illuminati messages in these music videos and shit like that. Um, it made me question, like, okay, like movies and news. Growing up as a kid, you think like, okay, the news, these are everyday reporters who are on the scene, or they're just the news. You don't know how, you don't know why, but you trust the news. You're just a kid, you see your parents watching the news. The weather reporter tells you it's going to be 76 degrees. Your parents are like, okay, dress like this. You somewhat build a subconscious trust with the news because they play a role in your everyday routine, or at least at that point in time. Most people barely watch the news anymore. But with that being said, I started to do the research. I started to do my homework, you know. And around that time, I was liberal, right? Or I shouldn't say liberal, but I was on the left, right? For sure. And I started learning about race politics. And I started learning like, wow, like, what's put out there it's deeper than just trying to dump off information. Words are spells, and they're constantly putting um, narratives out to alter the minds, the way you think subconsciously. Um, it's just a very interesting rabbit hole to go down. You know, prime example is like the the gay the gay slash black uh narrative or whatever, right? If you know black men, you know we love women. But over time, there started, you know, from the Medias to the Big Mamas to the Terry Crews on Friday after next Friday, or was it Friday after next? I forgot. Friday after next. Um, you know, they start pumping this out. Where I kind of got fed up with it was more recently though. I went to go watch Smile 2, and I was like, oh, what do you know? The only black guy in the movie is what? Gay. Nothing wrong with being gay. I'm just talking about what they are. If you look at all the executives, the directors, so on and so forth, you might question and think like, why do we have to make it a point? You gotta think about it. These people they all sit in one room, and they come up with a script, or one person comes up with the script. You have to sit there and say, okay, I want this person to be gay, but what is the justification? Or what is the justification? Right? Um, or you don't need to justify, but how do you rationalize it? Like, oh, I just wanted them to be gay in the movie. Oh, like, no, it's deeper than that. Because they know whoever has the TV has the power. Whoever has your screen has the power. And it's crazy. As I get more comfortable streaming on YouTube and I get more drawn out and I start having more of an ideal of which direction I want to go with streaming and content creating and shit like that. Um, you're gonna see me get better at art because I already articulate pretty well, but I'm learning like the YouTube shit. I don't want to be shoved into the abyss before I even get my YouTube career started. So pretty much back to the topic why I'm a black conservative. Long story short, I realized that the conservatives aren't these old white guys wearing red ties, walking around saying lock every black person up. No, if you do this thing where you most rappers, I put it on the rap level, basic. Most rappers are non-political until they blow up and they get rich and start paying taxes. Right? Next thing you know, they're standing next to Trump. Right? Making songs about Trump, doing this, doing that. The reason for that is conservatives are more of the, hey, we're not going to give you handouts. We're not going to do this. We're not going to do that. But once you get to the top, I guarantee you, everybody has a dream. Everybody has a goal to make it to the top and be rich or successful in some form or fashion. Why? Obviously, other people at the top that make the rules and control everything are rich and successful. Of course, they're going to try to balance what they see fit and how they live with the rest of the world. As far as, like, hey, we're all up here. Let's make it easier for the next generation of rich people who are most likely going to be our kids. We're already in the game. We have to learn how to play it. The thing is, the liberals do not want you to be rich. Now you might be like, hey Ray, didn't Ronald Reagan introduce the Welfare Act? Yes, he did. Hey Ray, wasn't Ronald Reagan conservative? Yes, he was. Isn't that why most isn't that the biggest knack on Ronald Reagan's presidential candidacy? Yes, it was. So how do liberals want to see keep you broke? The conservatives want to see you rich, right? Put it down like this. Take a big hit for that. I tend to get more plays on my streams after I stream and I upload it on YouTube. Might take this down, edit it a little bit, chop it up for the times where I'm fixing the blunt, shit like that. I don't take out nothing I say though. But anywho, where'd I leave off at? Oh, Ronald Reagan, blah blah blah, Welfare Act. Okay. Aside from Ronald Reagan, we have to look at the history. Confederates, KKK, Planned Parenthood, that party over there in Germany from 1938 to 1946. All have one thing in common. They were all Democrats. What are Democrats? What do they partake in? Socialism. What does the word Nazi translate to directly in English? National Socialist Party. A lot of hidden meanings. I won't act like I can get too descriptive because I can't. But the way I just said it, you can easily rewind it and chop it up and or like oh shit. But you can pause, go on Google, type everything in real quick. The whole thing with Google is never ever 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 look at just the very first thing that pops up. Read 5 to 10 different websites, articles, journalists, and then take everything that's in common and then highlight the differences. Everything that's in common, I'm not saying take it as truth because once again it's a machine, but take it as reputable, right? Take the things that you highlighted that are not in common and see why are these things not in common? Why do these 5 articles all say different things? Or why do these 2 say this, but these 3 say the same thing over here? Why do they where's the split? You're going to start to see a lot of things, man. Once I learned how to read between the lines and focus on what they're not telling us, oh my goodness. You're going to want to go down a rabbit hole that you can't even go down on YouTube. So, yeah, pretty much that's that. And, yeah, just based on the history of the liberals, the Democrats, and what they're doing right now today, I don't really agree with. Not really a fan of. They hide more things than the Republicans or the conservatives, whatever you want to call them. I know they're technically two different things, but both on the right. So it's interesting. I encourage every human, no matter what side you're on, especially if you're young and black. The reason I say especially if you're black, because most of us are raised to be Democrat and to think that the Democrats care for us. I mean, the very literally verbatim what they teach you in elementary school is Democrats are for the poor, Republicans are for the rich. There are some truths in that, but that's not it. That's not it. It's about values. Um, and I'll leave it at that. Um, so yeah, that's pretty much that. And let me see, make sure nobody joined my party. Okay. Yeah, that's pretty much that. And I'm going to carry the gaming portion over to the other big streaming platform, guys. So I just wanted to get the talking portion out the way. Put that up on here before I get it cracking on the TWITCH. See ya, wouldn't wanna be a broadcast.